What up, Tag Nation? It's Saturday night, and you know what that means. Another AEW pay-per-view. But first, the intro.
T.A.G.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
What up, Tag Nation? It's your boy, Undisputed Scooter. And I'm here to talk about this AEW Full Gear. Now, this is the preview show. And we're going to simply just talk about how we get here. How we get to some of these matches that are going on tonight. Two matches were announced yesterday. A stipulation was added yesterday as well. I'm going to run through it all. So one of the matches that was announced last night, we're going to get BCC's Claudio Castagnoli honoring the House of Black, Buddy Matthews. How did we get here? Buddy Matthews took on Wheeler Yuta. He beat Wheeler. After the match, Buddy grabbed the chair like he was about to go do some extra harm to Yuta. Claudio comes out. Claudio cuts a promo on Buddy saying, hey, if you want to do all this, we could do this in the light, not in the dark, not that little spooky stuff that y'all be doing. We could do this. And he was like, we could do this at Full Gear, but make sure you get permission from your daddy first, from Malachi first. But then Buddy was like, fine, we can do this. Later on the show, it was announced Claudio versus Buddy Matthews. Another one we're gonna get on the pre-show. ROH World Championship, Eddie Kingston defending against Jay Lethal. Lethal earned a shot because Jeff Jarrett beat Kingston in a street fight. And from that, Lethal earned a title shot against Mr. Kingston. They was talking trash to each other, the whole Lethal Jarrett faction, which I don't even know they even have a full name. It's just a gang of people. But he officially laid out the challenge, and it's going down tonight on 0 Hour. And then, of course, another match that was updated per last night. We're going to get the ROH World Tag Team Championship, and we're going to get MJF, and as you can see down on the title below, Samoa Joe versus Austin and Colton Gunn for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Now you're like, huh? Samoa Joe? Well, let's rewind some and let's tell this tale that deals with MJF and Bullet Club Gold. Well, when MJF was defending the title against Samoa Joe, Adam Cole injured himself, so he's been out. MJF has been a man by himself. He doesn't have his best friend Adam. Nobody else in the locker room really has his back like that. He has this weird relationship with Max Caster of the Acclaim, and therefore the Acclaim. But hey, MJF is a man by himself. So when Jay White had challenged MJF for the title, person in the devil mask and some cronies beat up Jay White. Mystery is still out on who's the devil. And from that, it was intertwined that, hey, Switchblade is getting the title shot against Max. So during all that, Austin and Colton was like, hey, we've been AEW tag champs, but we never been Ring of Honor tag champs. MJF, we want them belts, fam. So MJF was like, you know what, ass boys, y'all got it. We'll do this. And hell, I don't even need a partner. I do it by myself. So once again, MJF being MJF, he was solo. Then the realization is kicking in that I am by myself. In steps Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe for a few weeks was like, Max, you need some friends. You need some backup. I am happy. I'll happily watch your back. I happily be your friend while you go through all of this ordeal with the Bullet Club Gold. Just under one condition. I want a rematch for that title, fam. MJF was like, nah, nope, not happening. I'm good. I do this alone. Those 4-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever beatdowns that was happening, it was just looking bleak. And last night, he was taking a 3-on-1 beatdown because he was trying his best. He fought off Juice in the back, but because he was trying to get his belt back from Switchblade, but it ended up being Switchblade and the Guns beating him down. Samoa Joe comes out for the save. Samoa Joe gets him in the corner, and he was like, MJF shook and agreed. So Samoa Joe is going to eventually get his title shot, and MJF has a partner for the tag match and somebody to watch his back when it comes to the main event. So that way, he's not solo. He's not by himself. Adam is out. But yeah, what a story we weaved. But yes, officially, MJF, Samoa Joe versus Austin and Colton Gunn for always tag team championships. And from that, since I did talk about it, let's get to the main show. Of course, the show is going to be headlined with the main event. And since I just spent some time talking about it, of course, MJF, Jay White. One thing I will say about this show, if you're truly looking at this show from top to bottom, there's a few matches that could be some potential bangers, some potential like sleepers, and like some like, this match could truly be fire. I'm expecting this to be one. All right, closing out the show and everything, and then we got the whole mystique of the devil character, because of course Jay White and gang has been like, of course it's you, MJF, it's your mask. MJF was like, hey, this was taken from me. The mask was stolen. I don't know who the devil is. So when you have all of those little factors, it's a pretty interesting situation with all of this playing out. Because who's the devil? Can Switchblade officially beat MJF, who is now the longest reigning AEW champion? And he could truly christen the Triple B as the Bang Bang Belt. So I have a feeling that as a closing match, as the main event, it's going to definitely be main event worthy, because the shots they've been trading with each other, the attacks and everything, and then now MJF potentially has Samoa Joe watching his back, hopefully. And then, of course, MJF also has Wardlow gunning for him. So it's just MJF is in it. Whatever it is, MJF is in. So, but yeah, that would be the main event. And let's talk about the other matches that's on this card. We also have, for the AEW Women's Championship, we have the champ, Hikaru Shida, defending against Timeless Toni Storm. And how did we get here? Well, Tony was champ. Dynamite episode 200, Hikaru Shida unsuspectingly won the title from Tony. Kind of started to psychologically break some things in Tony, because she was like, I was champ. I was supposed to go into All In London as champ and this, that, and the third. Well, of course, all in London. Saraya wins, walks out as champ. The Outcast kind of splits between Tony Storm, Saraya, and Ruby Soho. So they are now their own separate entities, with the Outcast still being the duo. Tony Storm is divulging into madness, which now she's timeless now. She's embracing her Hollywood-esque character, and Chef's Kiss. It's been amazing. AEW title Tuesday, Hikaru Shida wins the belt back from Saraya, now making her the first 3-time champ. Tony Storm comes back around and is like, Full Gear is in LA. It's time for Tony Storm to make her Hollywood debut, her reemergence as we speak. And she's challenging Hikaru Shida. So she can be the second woman to be 3-time champ. And it's been a lot of back and forth. It's been more anytime Shida wrestles, Tony would come out and kind of just tease at the end. Then a couple of weeks ago, Shida did put the pause on Tony, but it's been really more vignettes and skits and things like that. And then I'm loving like the little sit down interviews they do, because Shida is like so confused. But one of them, Tony did tell her, "You're the reason for this. You took the belt from me. You became the champ going into London. Then you win it back again, making you 3-time champ. You're the reason for all of this." And we shall see how it all plays out at Full Gear. Will Tony Storm's Hollywood debut be spoiled? Will Hollywood reemergence, her re-debut into Hollywood, would it be spoiled? Or, will she walk out with that gold? We shall see. Next up, we got a trios match. The Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus versus Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, Sting. How did we get here? Well, it all started at Wrestle Dream when Christian Cage beat Darby in 2 out of 3 falls. Christian was getting before the match ended, we saw that Nick Wayne betrayed Darby Allin, went to Christian's side. They was beating they was beating Darby down after the match. Then Sting comes. They was beating Sting down right before we get that concerto, the debut of the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. It is still so weird to say. He comes out, he makes the save. Throughout the time, we see that Copeland wanted to end his career with Christian. Christian and Adam had that famous promo now where, Copeland was spilling out his heart, spilling out his guts. Christian hugged him and so eloquently told him to go fuck himself. If you haven't watched that whole segment, it was so great because Copeland spilled it out of his heart. He's just letting all the emotion out. Christian's just staring at him, and to give him the hug, and during the hug, he just go fuck yourself and leave. After this man just spilled his heart of why he came to AEW, he wanted to end his career with his best friend of over 40 years. After everything, he typed paragraphs, and all Christian just said, go fuck yourself. Brutal. From that, Sting announced his retirement. He announced that Revolution in February will be his last match. He debuted at Revolution. He wants to retire at Revolution. Christian Cage and gang was like, "You're not gonna get that, fam. We gonna just end this at Wrestle Dream. Y'all find Wrestle Dream at Full Gear. Y'all find yourselves a partner. If we're doing this, we're gonna just end you, so you don't even have to worry about a retirement match." So of course they were trying to recruit Copeland. Copeland was like, "No, I don't want to do it. I really don't want to go against my best friend and they was like, "Fam, are you really paying attention to what's really good right now? Like what's happening right now?" So from that, it was like fine, fine, fine. Some more back and forth, some attacks, everything. Copeland's in. So now we really have a heated trios match between the patriarchy, Copeland, Darby, and Sting. Um, this match has potential depending on where it's at in the card. I think where this match falls in the card depends on, because if it falls after something that's just uber exciting or whatever, then it's gonna be like, ooh, like, dang, we just had this amazing match, and then boom, we have a match that's like, yeah, it's cool, we want to see, but like I said, we shall see. We shall see. Another match on the card, we have the TBS Championship. We have the champ, Chris Statlander, defending against Julia Hart. An updated graphic, Sky Blue. How did we get here? I'll tell you. Bars. Statlander knows being defeater of the undefeated. She defeated Julia Hart after she had a 26 match win streak since she's been with the House of Black. Statlander defeated her at Wrestle Dream. Hart is still like, I still want that title, fam. All the while, you had the aspect of Julia Hart spitting the mist in Sky Blue and Willow's face. Willow wasn't affected. Sky was looking like she was potentially getting spooky. Like she was potentially like, hey, I might go join Julia. When the time came, she spit blue mist in Julia's face. Then it was like, ha. Then they started playing with the aspect of Sky is really seemed like she's not feeling Statlander. Because that was the other thing. She was backing Willow because she said, I'm willing to do whatever for Willow because, Willow the homie. But it's something with Statlander that she's kind of like, so you have all of that played out. Then we're dealing with the aspect of owning the championship. So all these women kind of have gripes. And it's coming ahead for the TBS championship. I have my thoughts and feelings on who's going to take this dub, but I will not give up the goods because, like this match, well, actually, it'll be like the next match I might talk about. I got to defend my stuff in a fatal four way. So I ain't giving up the goods. And speaking of fatal four ways, for the AEW Tag Team Championships, you got the champs, Absolute Ricky Starks, Big Bill, defending against LFI's Roosh and Jalistico, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler, FTR, Kings of the Black Throne, Brody King, Malachi Black, and per last night from Big Bill and Ricky Starks, ladder match. They doing this in a ladder match. So, oh boy, it is going to get interesting. And hopefully it's safe. Hopefully it's good, but safe. Do not want people to get injured because we know what happens in ladder matches. There's going to be some stunts. There's going to be some, how they used to say it in old WWE stage, it's going to be some car crash. There's going to be bodies everywhere. And we do not want people to get injured. So please, gentlemen, be safe and don't do too risky of spots. But yes, Big Bill, Ricky Starks was like, nah, we're going to do this in a ladder match, fam. So here it is. So just like Starks and Big Bill, I got to defend my title, of course, in a fatal four way because I got Juggs, Dizzle, and Jaeger wanting the belt. And it's like, why y'all won't just let me be champ? Like, let me be champ in peace. Like, it's fine. Just Let me 8-time champ for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Just let me be champ in peace. But yeah, this has a potential to be in one of those matches where it's like, now that was a ladder match. That was a good ladder match. Now, me personally, the next two matches I'm going to talk about are going to be potentially my most anticipated matches of the night because they're both sequel matches. First up, for the AEW International Championship, you got the champ Orange Cassidy defending against Jon Moxley. Now, All Out, we saw in the main event Cassidy defending against Moxley. Moxley left that man bloody, beaten, and bruised in the middle of that ring and took that belt. Since then, Moxley had the belt. He had an injury that made Ray Phoenix champ. Title Tuesday, Cassidy won the belt back from Phoenix. Moxley, who's back healthy again, is like, I want that belt back, Orange. And not only do I want that belt back, but in essence, what I did to you at All Out, it's going to pale in comparison what happens to you at Full Gear. And Cassidy is on the prove yourself because he's like, I lost to you at All Out. And I lost to you and lost the belt. I want my revenge. So they both gunning for, they both are going to come in wanting it. And they put on a show at All Out. So I'm expecting it I'm expecting to run back. I'm expecting it. I'm expecting this match to be just as good as what they did at All Out. And the next match that has a sequel to it, which this is probably personally my most anticipated match to see, because the goings on of this match, oh boy, is it juicy. We have a Texas death match between Adam Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. And oh boy, how did we get here? Swerve at Wrestle Dream challenged Hangman. He was like, hey, man, to say you a former tag champ, to say you a former world champ, you looking kind of fraudulent right now. Like, who is this Hangman here? Like, who is this guy to seem to be a shell of his former self? Because this guy that we've been seeing ain't it. We get to Wrestle Dream, of course, pour some shenanigans and chicanery. Swerve wins. So Hangman was like, all right, bet, I got you. Danielson versus Hangman to see who was going to get a shot at the TNT Championship. Hangman caused some interference. Swerve lost. The Elite, Young Bucks, who I will be getting to next, and Hangman win the ROH 6-man championships, taking it from Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. So Swerve was like, all right, cool. Bunch of back and forth, bunch of just interference on both sides. Swerve decides to pull the ultimate when, was it after they lost the 6-man titles? I think they had just lost the 6-man titles back to Nope. However how it went, I can't remember at the moment. But on the screen, Prince Nana and Swerve break into Hangman's house. Swerve is walking out through the house. Hangman leaves the ring as if he can get back to Virginia so quickly. But hey, he gets in the house. He starts walking through the house. He gets to the baby room. cuts a promo over the baby crib, and Evie left the baby a mobile affiliate shirt. And then boom, it was more back and forth. Like I said, if the Elite loses the ROH 6-man titles back to Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. Then this past Wednesday, since they were so now it's so volatile between those two that the face-off they had Wednesday, if any of them touched each other, not only was the match at Full Gear off, but both of them was going to be suspended for the rest of the year. Swerve tried to get some words in. It was like, Hangman was cutting some promos. Hangman was like, your fiance left you. Your kids don't want to see you. Nana is eating off of you and buying weed from high school kids. I'm going to beat up Nana. I'm going to beat up you, and then I'm going to take the weed from Nana. Then it ended with Hangman saying, we're in a no-touch clause, but he didn't say about Nana. I'm going to beat the shit out of him. So he started beating the shit out of Nana. And eventually, we're here. And it's a Texas death match? Oh, boy. So they don't have to play by rules? I'm here. I'm here. This is my most anticipated match of the night. I am here for it. I expect these two to go out there and put on a show. A show. And the last match that we're going to talk about, which just looking at the graphic looks wild. Just look at the graphic. How did we get to the aspect that we got Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho going against the Young Bucks? Well, if you want to know, I'll tell you. So, keep in mind everything I just said with Swerve and Hangman and the whole ROH 6-man championships elite. Now, on the other side with Kenny O and Jericho, let's go back to Kenny Omega beefing with the Don Callis family. It's been since Don Callis betrayed Kenny O, and I can't even remember when that even happened. I know it was earlier this year, but Kenny O has been beefing with the Callis family ever since Don Callis betrayed him. He done brought in Takesha. He has Hangman. He has Hobbs now. He has Kyle Fletcher. He has Sammy Guevara, which I get that, but Guevara is currently injured. And I feel like there's somebody else. And he enlisted the services of Brian Cage. So keep in mind, Kenny O has been beefing with Don Callis, mainly the Alpha, Konosuke Takesha. So Jericho gets brought into it because Don Callis was like, well, hey, Chris, we've been family for a long time. And why don't you go ahead and join the Don Callis family? So as Jericho was considering this, the JAS was like, Chris, hey, you have us in this faction, the Jericho Appreciation Society, and you thinking about joining Don Callis? Like, wait, WTF? So the JAS, Garcia, Anna J, Hager, Daddy Magic, and Angelo, they all was like, we out. Guevara essentially stood by Jericho's side when Don Callis, who he assumed Jericho was going to say no, so he commissioned a picture showing that he cut off Jericho's head in a painting. So Jericho was like, well, ain't that about a bitch? So now Jericho was beefing with the Don Callis family along with Guevara. Well, Guevara took Jericho to Dick Kick City and aligned himself with the Don Callis family. So from that, it kind of became Well, Omega, we kind of have a common enemy, so let's team up. And yeah, so all the while, the Young Bucks was kind of on the other side because after the Young Bucks lost the six-man championships, the Bucks started throwing fits. Like, what's going on around here? Then they confronted Kenny O and Jericho like, we supposed to hate this man. This is Chris Jericho. We don't cut for Chris Jericho. And don't forget, did you forget that the Elite? Like, why you never came to us to help you with this Don Callis thing? You go to him. Then we get this like a dragon Yakuza street fight that happened this Wednesday, where we had the Don Callis family, Takesha, Fletcher, Hobbs, and the enlisted services of Brian Cage versus Kenio, Jericho, Kota Ibushi, who is now All Elite, and Paul White. Team Golden Jets win, and the Bucks was even more because before the match they kind of got into a scuffle. Then about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week. Last week, the Bucks threw out the challenge because they was like, "Hey, since y'all want to be a team so bad, how about y'all go against the best team in AEW? And let's put a little wager on it about whoever wins gets a tag team title shot at the time of their choosing." And so Jericho was like, "I have no problem beating you little children since y'all want to walk around here and act like spoiled little brats. I have no issue." Kenny O was standing there conflicted until they started saying a few things, and Kenny was like, "Look, I've already beaten y'all before. Like, but if this is what y'all really want to do, then let's do it." And then the Bucks was like, "Well, let's put a little bit more seasoning on it. If we win, this little golden Jets, it's over with. Y'all never team again, and you can come on back to the Elite, and we can keep being the Elite, and you can stop with this whole golden Jets thing." And they was like, "Bet, bet, bet, bet." Once again, what a weave we have woven. What a weave we have woven. And for the most part, unless there are more matches that get magically announced, the only other thing is there is a major signing happening tonight at AEW. Of course, get the wheels going of who that signing is going to be, but that is AEW Full Gear in a whole. We got those title matches. Could we get a reveal of the devil? Is the devil going to even show up and possibly play some interference with the main event? Who is this new signee that's going to sign up in AEW? And depending on who that signee is, are they going to immediately make an impact? We shall see. But yeah, AEW Full Gear, I got to defend my prediction championship against three other who was just want to dethrone me. I have been a humble and just gracious champ, and these guys want to come at me as if I'm some type of just monster. I'm not a monster. I just create history. That's all it is. I'm just a history maker. That's all. Just create history. Just a record breaker. That's all it is. I just break records and create history. But fine, whatever. Shout outs to my tag brethren, Liv Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, Guns Up, and Juggs. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably thumbs up. Like, share, comment. Let us know down below what you think might happen, what might go down at Full Gear. And subscribe. And once you subscribe, make sure you got to tag that notification bell so that way you know when you get this heat. Get this heat on your YouTube feed. But once again, thank you, Tag Nation. But do me a favor. Be kind to yourself, love one another, look out for your physical and mental health. And until next time, whether you're new here or been here, we'd like to sign out with the second greatest hand gesture in wrestling, because we all know that DX chop will probably be number one. Let's just face it. But we'd like to sign out with that too sweet. Till next time, ladies and gents, don't forget to tag out. Peace.